This is Thornley Station. Thornley Station is located 17 kilometers from Perth in Fare Zone 2, on an unusual spur line off the Armadale line which serves only this station. The reason it exists is because when the Mandurah line was being planned, it was meant to go from the Armadale line through Canning Vale to reach the Kwinana Freeway at Cockburn Central. However, in 2002, the plan was changed for the Mandurah line to go all the way to Mandurah along the Kwinana Freeway from Perth. In order to justify the completion of the tunnel from the Armadale line into this direction, as well as some other infrastructure, the government decided that it was best to just convert this into a one-stop spur line to serve this growing residential area, and it has been like that ever since it opened on the 7th of August 2005. Although, of course, there is the Thorney-Cockburn link, which we'll talk about more later. All you've seen in the background footage so far is me walking along the Spencer Road Bridge past some tactile paving on the ground which showed the old bus stop that used to be there back when the station opened, and then through the small car park outside of the station. Now we've entered here where there are some toilets, a drink fountain, ad value machine, ticket machine, information point, emergency point, dot matrix display, vending machine, sanitizer, phone booth, transit officer booth, timetables, there's close station, smart reader processors to get in. Yeah, lots of stuff in that little courtyard area there, and then you come straight in and there's the sign for the Cockburn extension, and you can see the buffers right here with the train already waiting on platform 2. So the station does have 2 platforms long enough for 4-car trains, although this platform that I'm walking on right now is hardly ever used, only maybe a few times a day to clear up any debris on the rail and if there's a delay or anything, but otherwise it's always platform 2 that's being used. This is the only station to have a half-hourly frequency throughout the whole day on a Sunday, because yeah, it's just not justified to run trains down here that often. So this is the window at the end of the platform, which is going to be demolished soon to allow the tracks to come through all the way to Cockburn, with the Thorney-Cockburn link opening with 2 new stations in a few years' time. You can see here there is already a freight line that runs all the way down, but now they're going to shift that over and build these tracks parallel to it. So taking a quick look here now at platform 2, we have a sign about the Armadale line shutdown next year, and then just the train waiting on the platform. It usually comes about 10 minutes early. You have a lot of time to sit in an empty carriage because hardly anyone really goes here. As you can see, it says this train runs from Thorney to Perth, stopping at Cannington, then all stations to Perth. So yes, the trains for some reason skip Beckingham, just I guess so that the Cannington is the main station and the transfer point between the 2 lines. And then they stop at all the stations in between, while the Armadale line usually skips them, so that more people actually use the Thorney line services. Otherwise, they would really just be minimally used because it's just a one-stop spur over to Thornley. And here we are out in the bus interchange. We can see the map that just shows buses over to Gosnells, Cannington, Perth, which is the 9:30 service, which runs all the way parallel along the train line just on Albany Highway. But lots of people use it and it's high frequency, so I guess that's a justified route. And then also over to Murdoch Station. Alright, let's take a trip on this train now, leaving the station. A nice B series train. It's actually a 5-minute ride over to Cannington station. It just goes, first it goes like up northeast, and then it turns to go northwest along the Armadale line. Yes, so you come out of the station and then there's just some, I don't know, farmland, bush. There's not really much houses in this direction from the station. And yes, so I'll just watch that out the window here. So yes, here we are traveling in the only section of single line anywhere on the network where trains have to go up and down along the same track, and that's why the frequency is only every 15 minutes, even during peak periods. Although, I mean, I guess you could say Fremantle Station, just a tiny section before the tracks go into two, but that's just a tiny little bit. Here it's actually quite a significant distance, although it will be duplicated with the Thorney-Cockburn link, of course. So only a few more years left of this being a one-stop spare on a single line. Going through the Kenwick Tunnel now, that's the reason the station exists, the construction of this. And then you come up and it's a quadruple line, which, yeah, this is now the only bit of quadruple line anywhere outside of the CBD on the Transmet network. 2 for the Armadale line, 2 for the Thorney line. Although, again, Thorney-Cockburn link means that where the Mandurah line shut down construction works were, there's going to be quadruple line for the Thorney and Mandurah trains near Cockburn Central. So now that we're already here, let's just quickly give the station a rating. I'd say it's going to get 4 stars. It's a very good station, definitely for the heritage lines. It's got everything like Add Value Machine, toilets, massive shelter, bus interchange, car park. Really got everything, but I don't know, it just doesn't feel fully completed, and it's, I don't know, just smaller and less safe, and just, yeah, I guess not meeting the full standards of other stations along the newer lines like Bull Creek, Murdoch, on the Mandurah line, you know, much bigger train stations. And here we go, zooming past Beckingham station now. The reason it probably skips this is since it's staggered platforms, if anyone would want to go from the Armadale to the Thorney line, or from the Thorney to the Armadale if it stopped here, they would have to get off and go over the level crossing and to the other side of the tracks and onto the other platform to switch, which would just be really stupid, like having to do all of that when you could just go to the main station of Cannington, another kilometer towards Perth. So yeah, that's why it skips that. On the carriage diagrams though, and on the station diagrams, it shows that Beckenham is after Thorney to avoid confusion, which is also what I said in the Beckenham video.